The executive car market is dominated by the predictably efficient Germans. But now Maserati is hoping that its new Ghibli has the wow factor to tempt people away from playing it safe with a BMW, Audi or Mercedes.
And let's be honest, this Italian beauty looks very tempting indeed. Just remember, you could have a car which looks like this, or a 5 Series, A6 or an E-Class, which everyone else drives. Yeah, exactly. The inside is not quite as appealing as the outside, but it's still a nice place to be. The dials are clear, the seating position is sporty, and quality is generally good, if maybe not quite as robust as the German cars.
Obviously you can get all the mod cons you can on this class of vehicle, so leather seats, climate control, USB input for the stereo, got a touch screen, sat nav. You can upgrade the seats for electric operation. There it is down there. You can have them heated, you can have them ventilated. You don't have to go for the red leather if you don't want to. And keyless entry with what has to be the most expensive feeling key I've ever held. It's just so heavy. In fact, if someone tried to carjack you, you could use it as a weapon.
As for in-car storage, obviously the Maserati Ghibli is no MPV, but it's easily a match for its rivals for cubby spaces. You can get the Ghibli with 2 engines. There's a 3-litre twin-turbo V6 petrol with either 325 brake horsepower or 404 brake horsepower in the Ghibli S. However, you can also get it with Maserati's first ever diesel. A 3-litre V6 diesel to be precise, which can do almost 50 miles per gallon.
Now don't worry, because the diesel still feels suitably Maserati-ish. 0 to 62 miles an hour takes just 6.3 seconds, and Maserati has also fitted sound actuators into the cabin which pick out the best noises from the engine, so it sounds pretty good as well. I mean, I'll tell you what, I'll just shut up for now and let you have a listen to this.
Actually, the reason this model sounds so good is because I was only kidding. The engine in this car is actually the petrol. It's the range-topping Ghibli S to be precise. Sorry guys, I just couldn't resist.
Well, I know the diesel will be the best seller, but I don't think it's the right choice. I think that if you're going to go for a diesel car, you're a sensible person, and the sensible option is never going to be a Maserati compared to a BMW, Mercedes or Audi. They're just better diesel cars. So if you're going to go for the Ghibli, you have to go for the petrol version, and the engine is actually built by Ferrari. And not only does it sound well fruity, it goes like absolute stink.
0 to 62 miles an hour takes just 5 seconds, while top speed is 177 miles an hour. But it's not just the performance, it's the noise which accompanies it. No German car sounds this good.
So the engines are good, but what about the rest of the car? Well, I think when you're just cruising along the motorway, it's comfortable enough to travel in, and when you get on a twisty road, you've got loads of grip, so you can absolutely wring its neck. The only problem is you're not actually encouraged to do that because the steering is just awful, actually. It's very, very light, there's no feel, you've got no idea really where the wheels are pointing. In fact, it's inexcusable for a firm like Maserati with its sporting heritage to make such bad steering. And then there's the brakes. On this particular car, you only have to touch the pedal and it's, you're braking really hard. They're like an on-off switch. And then there's the ride quality. On the normal springs, it's not that great. The car seems to bottom out when you go over big bumps and speed humps, and it fidgets around. This car's got the optional Skyhook adaptive dampers, and it's much, much better, but they'll cost you an extra £2,000.
And while the chassis may be predictable and adjustable on the limit, you do feel like the whole car isn't quite as good as it could be, and a bit of a missed opportunity.
Then there are the usual Italian idiosyncrasies. For instance, this is the top of the range car, yet it doesn't appear to come as standard with paddle shifters for the steering wheel. If you want to change gear yourself, you have to do it using the gear selector down here. Quite frankly, Maserati, I don't want to have to do that, and I don't want to have to pay extra for paddle shifters. And then there's the gear selector itself. So I'm going to come to a stop, and let's say I want to manoeuvre. I want to put it into reverse. You try to put it in reverse, and all too easy, you slip into park, and then you're messing around trying to find reverse. You're in park again. You think you're reversing. You just sat there actually revving your engine, looking like a total idiot.
It's the same story with the boot. It's only slightly smaller than on a BMW 5 Series, but the shallow space means it's nowhere near as useful.
A bigger problem is here in the back seats. Now, executive cars are supposed to be perfect for carrying your fellow directors to a board meeting or to the golf club for a 4-ball Stableford. And quite frankly, while you're going to be fine up there in the front, they're going to be sitting back here thinking, I wish he blooming well owned a Mercedes E-Class. Because quite frankly, while headroom is good, knee room, it's like that in a Super Mini, and the footwells are really cramped as well, and that's just not acceptable on a car in this class. And then don't even think about carrying 3 people in the back here, because this middle seat, oh, if I get into it, is such a such a purge. And yeah, sitting like this is not cool, not even in a Maserati.
As for reliability, well, let's just say that an Audi A6 would be a safer bet. Finally, there's the price. The Ghibli is at least £5,000 more expensive than its German rivals, which are actually better cars.
Thing is though, the way the Ghibli looks, it just tugs on your heartstrings, and of course you can get it with an engine built by Ferrari, and how cool would it be to be able to say to your friends, yeah, I drive a Maserati. Thing is though, you'd be taking a punt, and before you do, you should definitely check out our reviews of the BMW 5 Series by clicking up here, the Mercedes E-Class by clicking down there. If you click down here, you can watch our latest video review, and if you click on the Carbuyer logo, you can subscribe to the Carbuyer YouTube channel.